Hi, I'm Ken with Orion Telescopes and Binoculars, and this is the Orion StarSeeker IV 114mm reflecting telescope. So it's 114mm, that's 4.5 inch, on the StarSeeker IV GoTo mount. So this is our most affordable of the StarSeeker IV line. So it's great for the family if you want to get into, if you want to get into the hobby, have a full GoTo system, and still have enough aperture to see some nice details in the night sky. A 4.5 inch, 114mm telescope like this can easily see the rings of Saturn, moons of Jupiter, and it's big enough to get into a lot of the deep sky objects too. So with the Messier objects, those are 110 of the brightest and best of the deep sky objects. You'll see many of those with a telescope like this, provided of course you can get away from some of the city lights and the light pollution. But the main feature of this system is the mount itself, the StarSeeker IV. We have some nice upgrades and features on it. It features solid steel legs, so much more solid and stable than some of the predecessors. And the biggest difference, well, first of all, it's a full GoTo mount. So you punch in what you want to see and it'll go to the object, it'll center it, and then it'll continue to follow along as it moves through the night sky. So fully robotic, you don't have to worry about finding those objects in the night sky. It's a 2-star alignment. Once you've found 2 stars, it knows where everything is in the sky, and it's very simple. But the biggest advantage to the StarSeeker IV is the closed loop system. It features dual encoders built into the axes. And what that means is, with a lot of GoTo telescopes on the market, once you've done the 2-star alignment in the hand controller, if I was to then not use the hand controller and just move the telescope manually like this, the computer would have gotten lost and you'd have to redo the star alignment because it won't know where anything is in the sky. But with that dual encoder system, it does know. So it just knew that I moved it around and I'm not pointed at the original object. So let's say I'm looking at Jupiter right here, and then for some reason I wanted to manually move the telescope over this way without using the hand controller. Well, I can just punch in Jupiter here and it will go back to the original position and recenter Jupiter. So you haven't lost anything, no need to redo the alignment. A big advantage of that is if you wanted to save some of the battery power with the mount. When you're doing a full slew and it's going from one side of the sky to the other, that's where the biggest power drain occurs. Well, you can manually move the scope. So let's say, again, I'm looking at Jupiter here, and then I wanted to look at something on the other side of the sky. Well, I can just manually move it over to about the area that I want to view, lock it back down, and then go to the object here. It'll do the last bit of slewing to find the object. And again, you haven't lost anything, and you've saved some battery power. The telescope itself comes with 2 eyepieces, a 23mm and a 10mm wide-angle design. There's also a finder scope on the side, the Easy Finder. You use that for doing the initial star alignment, the 2-star alignment. After that, you really don't need to use the finder because the computer is accurate enough to get anything within the field of view of the 23mm eyepiece. All right, well, there you have it, the Orion StarSeeker IV 114mm reflecting telescope. Thank you very much. Clear skies.